In this lesson, like before, you will have English on one side, and on Hindi the content is given on other side, and we are saying you in English, and along with the meaning, Sanskrit meaning, everything is here, so you can go through both in English. If you are more familiar in Hindi, then you can go through that in Hindi also. Okay. Now first we will have sloka. We will explain that like other lessons. At the end of it, you will have the homework sheet attached here for you to do audio homework, and also to take the text homework. So you will do both and submit it with 100% mark. Okay. And if you are already a registered student, you will send it to us in the WhatsApp. Also, do know the Telegram link is given below in the description. If you are here for the first time, make sure you subscribe for this channel in Telegram so that you can see the previous lessons also. Okay, and any conversations, questions we went through it, etc., everything will be there for you to look at it. If you are not a registered student, what you have to do is first get registered. It's a free certification course, so it's very easy for you to get registered by just sending a WhatsApp. Our WhatsApp number, which is +1 647 964 4790, is given in different parts of this video as well as in the description. Okay, so you can send a WhatsApp with your name, where you are from, and your interest in learning Sanskrit, so that you can get registered, because you had to be a registered student to qualify for the certificate. Okay, so now let's get started.
Free certification course by Bharat Marg. Level 1, Lesson 9. Suswagatam. Welcome. So first, I'm going to say a sloka and then you can repeat it after me, after which I will explain the meaning for the slokam and then we can get into today's lesson. Sloka. सशङ्खचक्रं सकिरीटकुण्डलं सपीतवस्त्रं सरसीरुहेक्षणं सहारवक्षस्थलशोभिकौस्तुभं नमामि विष्णुं शिरसा चतुर्भुजम्. So now I'll say it in smaller chunks so that you can repeat it after me, and please pause the video to repeat. Sa Shankha Chakram Sakirita Kundalam Sa Pita Vastram Sarasi Ruhekshanam Sahara Vakshasthala Shobhi Kaustubham Namami Vishnum Shirasa Chaturbhujam. So now I'll increase the piece size. Sashanka Chakram Sakirita Kundalam Sapita Vastram Sarasi Ruhekshanam Sahara Vakshasthala Shobhi Kaustubham Namami Vishnum Shirasa Chaturbhujam. Sashanka Chakram Sakirita Kundalam Sapita Vastram Sarasi Ruhekshanam Sahara Vakshasthala Shobhi Kaustubham Namami Vishnum Shirasa Chaturbhujam. So now the meaning. Salutation to Vishnu, who is holding the conch and chakra in his hands, who is adorned with a shining diadem and earrings, who is decorated with yellow garments, whose chest is adorned with the Kaustubha gem. I worship the four-armed form of Mahavishnu and bow my head before him. Now, here's a note you'll need before I actually start this lesson. All the rules which I'll mention from this point, unless I explicitly state so, describe the changes between two vowels. A vowel in front of a consonant will not change unless stated otherwise. The two vowels need to be right next to each other with no other letters in between. And with these three rules in mind, with these three notes in mind, we can start the actual lesson. First, we'll need to know about old vowels. Early Sanskrit had different vowel sounds than the ones we hear today, as those vowel sounds were later merged to create the version that we hear now. There are three categories for the old vowel sounds: weak, medium, and strong. And you'll see why in a second. So on the screen you can see three different types of vowel sounds. And these are the old vowel sounds in Sanskrit. The new vowels. These sounds merge together, the sounds we saw on the previous slide, merge together to create the vowel sounds we hear or use today. And here's how these vowel sounds would be categorized. We still have the same three categories, but the letters are slightly switched around. Similar vowels. Similar vowels combine and become long. For example, Bhava plus Arjuna. The two words, Bhava plus Arjuna, would become Bhavarjuna. Su plus Ukta would become Sukta. Dagdha plus Aranya would become Dagdharanya. Dissimilar vowels. Dissimilar vowels will change based on the first word. If the first word is a or a, then the first vowel combines with the second one and strengthens it by one level. If the second vowel is already strong, then the first vowel disappears. For example, Raja plus Indra would become Rajendra. Hita plus Updesh would become Hitopdesh. Tasya plus Audaryam would become Tasyaudaryam. Semivowels. Semivowels are very close to the vowel and are produced at the same place of articulation. And you can see how they are written out. The vowel can change into its corresponding semivowel. For example, iti plus aha would become ityaha. Api plus asya would become apyasya. Madhu plus iva would become madhviva. Compound vowels. For compound vowels, the second part of the first vowel becomes the semivowel. Know that e, I, o, and ow are treated as I, ow, and ow. Here are a few examples. Bho plus ati would become bhavati. J plus ati would become jayati. Special rules. In Sandhi, there are a few cases where these standard rules do not apply, instead, specialized rules are used. Simple vowels. The following vowels will change like this: E or E will become I, U or U will become UV, R will become IR. Examples: Dhi plus E will become Thi, Bhu plus E will become Bhuvi, Ghr plus A plus Thi would become Ghirat, R and R. R one after a single consonant becomes Ri before E. For example, Kri plus Ya plus Te becomes Kriyate. R. R in front of a consonant suffix becomes Ir, but if the R comes after a letter, it becomes Ur instead. Gr plus Ya plus Te becomes Griyate. Pr and plus Na becomes Purna. Compound vowels. For compound vowels, the second part of a first vowel becomes the semivowel when it's followed by a vowel. The change also happens when the second letter is the consonant Y. Go plus Yaha becomes Gavyaha. External Sandhi. The next slides will detail external Sandhi. Verb prefixes. A prefix ending in a or when in front of a verb starting with ir combines to form ar. Upa plus chhati. Upachhati. If the verb starts with a vowel, then the prefix a will combine to make the vowel strong. A plus icha plus t. Aichhati. Compound vowels. For compound vowels, the second part of the first vowel becomes the semivowel when it's followed by a vowel. But in external sandhi, the semivowel is dropped for e and I. The next rule is an exception to this. Nagare plus iha becomes nagarahiya. Rathopastha plus upavishat becomes rathopastha upavishat. Next rule. When e is in front of an a, the first vowel stays the same and the a disappears. Te plus abhravan becomes tebhravan. Words that are unaffected by sandhi. Particles of interjection or particles that consist of only one single vowel will remain unaffected by sandhi. For example, e plus indra remains as e indra. Vowels e, u, and e when they end a word in the dual form. For example, nagare aham pashyami remains as nagare aham pashyami, which means I see the two cities. Now, I'll say the Shanti Mantram and then I'll say the meaning. If you want to know the word for word meaning, go to the first lesson because it will be there in the first lesson. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, may all be happy, may all be free from illness, may all see what is auspicious, may no one suffer. Om, peace, peace, peace. Namaskaram, Suprabhatam, Shubh Madhyanam, Shubh Sayam, Shubhratrihi.